So I believe education is essential to civilization. That the world that we want to live in can't exist without education. That there's different ways to pass knowledge down from one person to another, and university or college or high school or trade school or looking at things on the internet, one of those things can't be defined as what education is. Education is everything. Education is learning and taking knowledge that you didn't have before and building new knowledge out of it. But it's essential to all parts of our society. Without education, there is no moving forward, there is no growth as a human race. We have no way of becoming better than we were before. And I think that's what everyone should strive for, is to become a better person than they were before, better person than the people before them were if possible, and to continue to strive and push that forward. That without a way of sharing that information that you gain with others, and without a system of you getting that information from others, that culture and society and laws, they all stagnate. And so in order for the world to be a better place, people have to understand it better and to understand what's come before and to think about the world in new and interesting and different ways. And that can't happen without some form of education.
I believe education is a self-perpetuating mechanism. It's costly. It doesn't appear to directly relate to any kind of job prospect, at least not here. Unless you're talking co-op programs, not problems. Unless you're talking co-op programs, which do actually get you experience, like you spend. I think I have a friend in engineering who spent 2 years studying heavily, and then 2 years mixed study and work experience, where he'd actually go and work. I don't remember where he worked. He worked on these like Caterpillar type, you know, the like big machines with like the huge wheels, and he'd work on those. But that job experience is going to help him get a job later. And that's, I think, the only reason that people, or most of the reason that people go to school now, is to try and get a job so their real life can begin. I don't know a lot of people who are really inspired by what they're learning. I don't know a lot of people who really enjoy what they're learning. They're just kind of doing it as a hoop to jump through so they can start doing what they really want to do. And there's no guarantee that they'll even be able to do that. And a lot of the people I know who are studying what they're passionate about are probably the only way they're going to be able to make a living is by continuing to teach. Like they're going to turn around and they're going to have to become professors and teach the things that they just spent all that time learning. Which is what makes education self-perpetuating.
So you don't think there's any value other than getting a job?
I think it exposes people to new ideas, and I don't think it's entirely devoid of merit, but I think the educational system is it's riddled with problems. It's underfunded, it's hugely expensive. None of us can afford it. I don't know anybody other than myself who isn't at least $20,000 in debt right now. And that's because I live at home with my mom. I'm 22. I don't want to be there, but what choice do I have? I can go out and I can make $10 an hour working 3 minimum wage jobs, or I can stay at home and go to school because it's what makes her comfortable and hope that there's some way out at the end of it.
I believe education is a profound opportunity for all of us. When I say all of us, I'm talking about society and obviously students. I believe education is really critical to the well-being of society. And I say that for a number of reasons. I fundamentally believe that. And actually, much of my career is spent outside of the academy. I've always had a foot in academy teaching and doing a number of projects, but much of my life has been actually in practice of landscape architecture, urban design, and land use planning. And it's just, and a lot of that work actually was involved in Aboriginal communities. And through that work, it struck me that education is just so critical to society, because through education, we empower people to achieve all of the best that they can achieve. It explores all of the wonderful possibilities. And through education, we're able to, in working with students, in celebrating student success, we're able to actually build a better future. And that's really, for me, the principal aspect of why education is so important, because it gives all of us the possibility to achieve things beyond what we ever thought we could achieve. And those things, when I talk about achievement, I'm talking about personal development, personal well-being, community well-being, societal well-being, and through that actually leaving society in better shape than we found it. And education, I think, is critical to that. And central to that is some of the things we do at VIU. One is actually critical theory, and students graduating from VIU and from other institutions and through education generally, having critical thinking skills. Critical thinking is really important to ensuring that society and all of our community members are able to undertake discourse in a respectful, in an engaged, in a full manner, and not be swayed by emotion or agendas that are politically driven, but really are, through education, able to actually have a place in society where they can be independent thinkers and contribute in that way. The other thing that, for me, education is really an opportunity for those who are students of education, learners, to engage in society through taking education from institutions and actually taking it into community, where they apply their skills, work with community members, become engaged with community, and in fact just permeate society with this wonderful, wonderful conversation about what are the possibilities. So education for me is really about exploring what are the possibilities in the fullest sense of the word.